Hello, everyone, and welcome to CineQuest Video. Today, we're going to be reviewing a new vampire movie, Abigail.
I fucking hate ballet.
This
You
is
mean
Cosmic Beef
you mean,
coming to you from MoQuest Studios, and we have King Teriyaki Double Thick Filet. Is that the full name? Is that
O
what I'm reading?
Fish
Oh, fish.
Manwich.
Manwich coming in from some bunker in an unknown location.
Yep, I have to. I can't let myself be seen in public with a
Yeah,
name like this.
the cops are after him with such a
I
high
am
profile name.
I am delicious royalty. What can I say?
It's dangerous.
It
He's got
is.
cannibals coming after him.
Mm, yep. I'm too tasty for my own good. Have
So,
some of this.
Abigail is a 2024
Yep.
horror comedy, and it is apparently a retelling, reimagining, reboot, however you want to call it, of the 1936 movie Dracula's
Dracula's
Daughter,
daughter.
which I didn't know
Yeah.
until today.
I had thought they were just calling it that, like, as a like an homage. I didn't actually know that it was meant to be, like a sort of reboot kind of thing. But apparently they had to change the name. So, they went with.
Well, I'd mentioned to you, Roland, when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is kind of an interesting take on like a new type of vampire-ish type of movie, and it kind of is. But I mean, I didn't realize that it was also from a movie or based on a movie
Yep.
that I have no idea because I've never seen this movie. I'm not well versed in the like millions of Universal black and white
No,
30s
but
horror movies.
like at this point we know all the all the classics or whatever that they started, The Mummy, The
Right, but I
Werewolf,
mean, if we were to look back at any of those films,
Frankenstein's
there
monster.
are more than I can even count
Oh,
on 2 hands,
absolutely, absolutely. These
and
guys.
apparently that the Dracula's Daughter was also based on a like a short of Bram Stoker's,
Mm,
uh, The Guest or something. That apparently was a chapter in, the actual Dracula book, but it was taken out or something like that.
oh, no
I
shit.
didn't research much into it, but that's kind of how as far as like the source material allegedly goes, but it
Hmm.
resembles nothing of that short that Bram Stoker wrote. I think it's just kind of like the fact that it's Dracula's daughter and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Um, and with that information, it kind of gives you an idea of what Abigail is kind of about or where it kind of goes from just that information. If you knew nothing about this movie, you're going into it like I did, that there's a girl who gets kidnapped and she's a ballet dancer. And it's revealed in the trailer that she turns out to be a vampire. What type of vampire? Very aggressive type of vampire.
A
A
ballerina
vampire that I
vampire.
don't, not one of those types of vampires that look cool or anything. They're very grotesque looking. And she is kidnapped by these criminals, 6 of them, according to the trailer and the movie itself.
Hmm.
And they kind of get trapped in this old mansion with her, and we're not exactly sure, according to the trailer and even the beginning of the movie, what exactly is taking place, why those particular folks are there, and why they're in this situation with this vampire.
It sort of alludes to it in the trailer when they're like, you need to watch her for the night or whatever kind of thing, and
Well,
that's
I mean,
when.
we you don't really know like the motives as to what exactly, because
Oh yeah,
we know from the trailer that these criminals kidnapped this person, this little girl, in order to extort money from this other
that's it.
her
It's like,
father.
why do
Yeah,
why
that's
do
it.
you kidnap rich people? Oh, for money.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it's
I
based
I would
the
say
story
that
gets.
yeah, exactly. If you watch the trailer for this movie, the whole story is pretty much, it's kind of there. There really isn't.
I would say it does let the story kind of out of the bag right in the trailer, but, that's not the essence of the movie itself, the actual
No,
reveal,
a
like,
lot of it is in well, I
I
would
would
say
say it's how
the.
I say how everything starts to play out.
Okay.
That's kinda like what, is
Yeah.
entertaining about this movie, and again, we already know the secret, the girl's a vampire, and she's killing people,
Yeah.
but I think it's just how that progresses in the movie is kind of where the fun takes place.
Right, yeah, I wanna see you wanna see how it plays out
Yeah,
because
there's no big reveals. It's just
no.
let's have fun with this movie.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it went for because it looked like a comedy, and once, she reveals herself, I'd say that it pretty much follows that, like, it's a very dark comedy, but,
Yeah,
like, in the moments, again, like, where the scenes that are shot aren't meant to be funny necessarily, like, for what's happening, but the way they play out is hilarious,
yeah,
and I think
mhm.
it's again, like, it's it's not written as humor, it's unintended humor, but, like, the way it plays out is like, okay, how do you not laugh at this? Obviously, a girl, like, doing ballerina dances as she chases people to kill them, that she hops over the
Yeah,
dead body, and,
yeah,
like, she,
yeah,
like, tiptoes on the railing and stuff kinda thing as people are just like, "Rah, ah, shit, yeah,"
yeah,
like,
and I
fucking
mean,
hilarious.
you come to realize that she's just toying with every single one of them because she could kill easily kill all of them fairly quickly.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
she says so in the trailer too. She says, "I like to play with my food." So, I mean, she's just
yeah,
fucking with him throughout the whole
mhm.
movie, and it's just that. And again, like you mentioned, the fact that they play into the ballerina angle of this whole thing,
I
and
loved it
I
so
think
much.
it was just used as a way to just add some, um, I guess, finesse or extravagant type of movements, just to add
Yes,
an element.
she's
There's
very,
no
very,
reason for it. There's
very
no reason
classy.
for it. Yeah, there's no reason for it whatsoever. Let's just have her as a ballerina, and then
Yeah,
boom, you have
the
different scenarios where she's dancing with a dead body, like,
yes, and then
and
she's like when everybody walks in on her, she's like, "Oh, what are you
yeah,
doing?" Like, she acts surprised and shit, and they're like,
yeah,
"What are you fuck off." Like,
yeah,
a lot of it was just her like, yeah, you're right, like, fucking with people and just she was having fun, right?
yeah,
Doing her
mhm.
thing, and what was funny about it because, like, the other characters are all very unfunny people, they're all
Right,
very
they're all
serious
kinda
and
like, I mean, they're all kind of pieces of shit,
yeah,
in some form or
yeah,
fashion.
um,
We have, Melissa Barrera, who
Barbara.
is from, the Scream movies, from my first
Yeah.
I know her from.
Mhm.
Dan Stevens, I don't know who that is. Catherine Newton, I believe, she came out in, that new Frankenstein movie, Lady Frankenstein, Girl
Yeah, she's been in a
Frankenstein,
lot of things.
amongst other films as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
She's cool as a side character,
I don't know that I'd care to see her as a main character. I've been wanting to check out the Frankenstein movie though.
I did attempt to watch it, but it didn't grasp my attention enough, so I stopped
She's
watching it, and I'm gonna give it another try later, because I was a little distracted.
I think a
We
lot of it has to
also
do with her lines though, that
Yeah,
because
it's just cheesy shit,
well,
like,
yeah.
I don't
Well, like
know
she was playing a stereotype, so,
yeah, in
you
the
know.
'80s. Oh, are you talking about this movie
I'm
or
sorry, I'm talking about this movie.
okay, no, yeah, there's no, everyone's playing like a stereotype, like, even the guy that they find out is like, was a former cop and stuff like that,
Yeah,
they're all playing into stereotypes and stuff like that.
yeah,
W Apparently this other character who was the driver, Angus Cloud, he this was like his last movie. He died
yeah, yeah,
after
he
that.
died.
Apparently he was in Euphoria, I think.
I
I've
never
never seen
saw
it.
it. They
Um,
dedicated the movie to him, which I was like, "Okay, I guess
yeah.
that's
I
kind of
was
a
like,
bummer."
"Yeah, alright, that's
I
fine."
was hoping I was kinda
RIP,
hoping, yeah, I was hoping for more from his character with the way, uh, Joey, right, Melissa
Yeah,
Barrera's character, like, profiles everybody, and she gets them all right, and with him, like, she was just like, "You don't want me to, profile you, buddy," and he's like, "Well, go come on." You know what? Like, he's like,
yeah.
"Yeah, you've got loose wiring, like, you're probably a
You
sociopath."
it's kind of, uh, reading after the fact that he passed away because of, like, a lot of
Oh,
drugs
yeah.
and shit like that. I
Yeah,
was just
he's
like, "Was he
overdosed.
on drugs through the
The
movie too?"
movie?
Because, like, it didn't
He
look
wasn't playing a character.
like yeah, it was just him on drugs the whole time.
Yeah, his
Like,
character
it's
was
sad,
just
it's
boring.
sad, it's sad, but,
Yeah, it is. He
it's
seemed like a
what it
cool
is.
dude, but again, like Joey labels him as a sociopath, and like I'm just saying that, I'm immediately thinking like, oh, cool. Who's he gonna betray, or like who's he gonna like have a fucking like a split, moment or whatever. He just
Mhm.
turns into someone else and like drops the facade or something. And
Yeah.
like he didn't get any of that. It's just like, he keeps doing his dumb shit, and then
Yeah.
he gets his head ripped off. which
And we'll leave it at that as far as, like, the types of kills that go on in this movie.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Sorry, go you wanna go ahead with the cast, right? We
but
ended
yeah,
with
the only other cast member that I was familiar with was, and I hate I don't wanna fuck up his name. It's, Giancarlo Esposito?
yeah,
Esposito.
Giancarlo
Is that
Esposito.
the way you spell it though? Like Giancarlo
I
Carlo
mean, if you wanna say it with an
Giancarlo
Italian accent, yeah, but, like, you can get
Giancarlo
away
Esposito, yes.
you can just get
I
away
know I
with
remember
saying
him from Breaking
Giancarlo.
Bad amongst other, like,
Yeah,
TV shows as well.
yeah, yeah, he's done a
I like
lot
him,
of
he's cool,
things.
he's
He's done a
cool.
lot of things. He's yeah,
And
absolutely.
he plays his character, as small as it is, like, fairly well, as he
Mhm,
should.
mhm.
Um, I, overall, Roland, I had fun with this movie. I
Yeah.
We didn't go in expecting, like, this grandiose new type of vampire film that was gonna blow my mind.
No.
I was expecting, fun time, got my popcorn, got my drink, got an ice cream sandwich for the first time, was very underwhelming. It was one of those Nestle Toll House ones, it was
Yeah,
lame. No
yeah,
flavor, no
yeah,
sweetness. It was a waste of time, but I ate
vanilla.
it anyways.
Um, I I agree with you for the most part, but I think that this movie was probably about 40 minutes, 30 minutes longer than it needed to be. It was almost 2 fucking hours,
I will
which
say that
kind of
the
annoyed me.
part when the vampireness starts up,
Yeah, that's when it gets great,
that's great,
you know?
but
I was
then
waiting for it, I was
yeah,
like, "Please, please hurry the fuck up,"
I
like
think the one thing that I will agree with you on is that some of my nitpicks are that the beginning of the film where we're kind of going into everyone's backstory,
we didn't need that.
which there's no reason to play into any of the story at any point in the
Not
end
really. I mean, like,
necessarily. Maybe a few, but like the rest of them, it was kind of
they
unnecessary.
could have left all of that out with the scene and left in, with just with the scene where Abigail starts like tying all of the connections together that they have with those
Yeah,
characters, that explains everything. Like that
yeah,
was, and
mhm,
like they did that in like 5 minutes, and it was cool. Like it was a cool moment because like they all get freaked. They're like, "How do you know our names?" And she's
yeah.
like, "Well, this and this and this
Yeah,
and this." And
you're right, like, that
we didn't
the
need
fact
to
that,
see.
I think they had to give characters something else to do other than just sit around and drink with each other and watch this little girl because
Yeah.
now I understand why they did it. I'm not saying they should have done it that way because it did kind of make the movie a
It
little longer
dragged,
than
it
it
was
should have been,
boring, I
yeah.
wasn't interested in them, I was expecting more from them. I was like, "Oh, they're talking about all this shit because it's gonna be."
It's gonna play into the story
Right,
later,
and it
and it really
didn't, and
doesn't, yeah.
I was like, example, again, talking about, what's his face's character, the driver, um,
Mhm, yeah,
Angus Cloud, Dean's character,
Dean, yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this guy he's gonna be like the dude, the pothead from Freddy versus Jason or whatever, like, which pretty much actually he kind of was. Like, he's just like perpetually fucking horny and, smoking a doob. And he carries around he's got a fanny pack and he carries markers around in there so he can draw for some reason dicks on people's faces, that kind of shit. And I was like, what is this like Friday after next? Like, what the fuck? Like, kind of
No, man,
cheeseball.
it's
I
just
love
fucking
that.
like it's American Pie shit, you know?
Yeah, thank you. And I was just like, cool, this is gonna be funny. He's gonna be the comedy relief. Nope. First one out of there.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. I really
I
liked Catherine Newton's character. I mean, can we? How are you want to go with like spoilers? Because
Well, no, I don't wanna get into any spoilers,
okay,
just, I mean, just be as vague as you
she has a
can.
really cool moment, like when uh I guess when she has like a character turn,
Yeah,
sort of thing.
okay.
Like she like that was actually pretty awesome. And she can dance pretty damn good too. That was actually a pretty fun. Like there were some fun scenes in there, like what I was not expecting, or rather, I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of like really enjoying it though. I do like the effects that they do with this. A lot of there's just primarily practical.
Mhm.
There
A lot of
really is.
blood,
Yes,
a lot of
lot of
blood, good
blood.
stuff, yeah.
Some pretty interesting, like the set was great. That mansion, that house, awesome. Like very iconic sort of horror. Lots of long hallways. Very like Victorian era, Victorian age. Like upholstery, house designs, those sorts of things. They've got a study and a library and a bar and like Uh, uh,
It's like a whole maze, you know, like they
mhm.
a house like that has various, parts where you can actually, have, scenes play out. You know, there's, like, that basement, and there's the kitchen,
Yes,
that
the
place that
basement
attaches to the
was very
basement, and then
cool.
there's another, like, underground area, like, the little
Mhm,
tunnels and stuff,
mhm.
like, it's great, like,
I wanted
it just adds for more, I guess,
and
parts.
Abigail's father, that obviously mentions in there, he's cool. Fucking cool as
Yeah.
fuck. Like, his little cameo showing up, like, that was a
He has
very
he's kinda he's menacing, like,
yeah,
in
that
that.
was a very cool
Yeah.
moment. It reminded me a lot of, Constantine when Peter Stormare comes in as Lucifer. Like,
Mm.
it's just boom, like, "Oh, fuck. What's he doing here?" Like, you're fucked now," kinda moment, and
Thought you
that
were gonna
was, like
say it's when Nicolas Cage comes into the therapy group in Renfield or something. You haven't
One of
seen that yet, have
my
you?
no, no, I
Yeah,
need to see
you're
that.
missing
Oh, I
out.
mean,
You're
I
missing
in
out.
the trailer, yeah, but, like, I really liked I really liked Abigail's character.
Yeah.
She's really
Mm.
funny, like, the way she moves and, like, everything in that is there's one moment where and I think that's shown in the trailer where she starts to, like, levitate,
Yeah.
and they're just like, "What the fuck?" And she's there like, "Rah," kinda doing her thing, and I was just laughing my ass off because I was
Yeah.
like, "She is having so much fucking fun with you idiots."
And
Um
that's basically what we're getting from this is a vampire who's having fun with her
Mhm.
food.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, that actually was a great scene because it kinda just shows real quick in the trailer, but, um, as she's grabbing that guy's leg and he's like, "Oh shit," she's, like, flying and
Fucking
she's just doing it, like,
flying,
very
yeah.
and she's being real, like, dramatic with it, you know?
I
Yeah,
think,
everyone just stares at her. It's pretty great.
I think a lot of them did good jobs representing their characters. I'd have to say Frank's character, the ex cop or whatever
Yeah,
was probably one of the best because he was just like such a smarmy asshole kind of thing from the get go. The second you
yeah.
see him, like as they're setting up uh um their heist, I
I think
guess.
he just, like, progressively gets more asshole throughout the movie,
I
like
think he was, like, actually, I'd only say, like, it shows he's more, like, progressively more, like, the asshole parts of him, but, like, I'd say that he was a pretty consistent shithead from the beginning all the way to the
no, no,
end
yeah, he was.
kinda
I
thing.
just think he gets even worse, like, towards the end.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah,
like,
yeah,
no, yeah, he's
absolutely,
pretty consistent
absolutely.
asshole through the whole movie, but
Yes.
then, like, towards the end, he gets, like, a progressively, like, worse, like,
Right,
he takes,
he
like, a huge
becomes
spike.
he
Yeah.
becomes, an enabled asshole kinda thing.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
liked his character though,
Yeah, it was
because of
good.
that. Like, he was just like, "Oh, you suck. Oh, you're such a piece of shit." Like, "Oh, this is great." But, like, he also had, like, really funny, like, reactions and lines.
Yeah, mhm.
Again, in the same situation where it's like, this isn't supposed to be funny, it's just his reaction and the way he says what he says is just like, like, oh, what a dick." Um, Catherine Newton was pretty cool again, like, she starts off a certain way, representing her role, and then, like, they just sort of enhance it quite a bit. Um, I did like the guy that played Kevin Durant, the guy that played Peter, which I guess he was
Mhm.
the muscle, because out of all of I guess the backstories, when Joey was sort of like profiling him, his was the one that seemed to have the most kind of like uh, um, not
Sad?
necessarily. Yeah, well, yeah, it was probably one of the saddest. But like, I was trying to think of like, it seemed like the most impactful. Like when she was describing these things to him, she was very specific, and he's just like, I think he kind of like his emotion or like his emoting,
Mhm.
his quiet emoting was probably the best because he's just like, oh yeah, you're okay, shit, like
Yeah.
you're 100% correct, and like he fist bumps her after. He's like, yeah, cool, like kind of shit.
He's like the what is it? Like the big kinda teddy bear, but, like, it's also the
Right,
muscle, you
yeah,
know?
yeah. He's the kill you with kindness and a big fist kind of person.
Yeah.
Uh,
I like Melissa
y-
Barrera's character,
oh
she
yeah,
had to play, I guess, more like the straight person, or
she's
I guess
probably
the
the
more
most
one with a bit of a more of a moral compass,
right.
but also with a really shit backstory also, you know, so
She had the most agency
yeah.
within the movie. She had like the her reasoning and all that. But what was interesting is even that was sort of used against her later on, and like
Mhm,
she
yeah,
realized
yeah.
that she was kind of like making certain excuses for herself in certain situations and other
Mhm.
things, and then that sort of changes as it goes on. I don't think I've ever seen her in anything. You said she's from the other Scream movies.
Yeah, from
Um,
part 5 and part 6.
the character, the was it the people that directed this? Didn't they work on
I believe it's the producers that worked
producers?
on Scream.
Where's the producers? Yeah, I can't find their names, but yeah, I think that was probably how they got her into this because
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah, they kinda just transitioned her over. I mean, I'm not gonna say, like, she didn't work for the part or anything, but I'm just saying, like, they're probably more familiar with her, and so, like, she was kinda, like, working with
oh
the same
no,
people
okay, so
again.
like Matt Bettinelli Olpin is
Mhm.
was a director for I guess the first of the Scream remakes, or
It's not really a remake, but I mean,
well,
it's
like so. I'm just looking at what they're known for, and it's just a Scream 6 and Scream,
yeah, the
which
part
the
5, yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
Right, excuse me. Yeah, that. That's how much I keep up with that shit.
Well, yeah, well, there you go. That's they worked with together, and then she
And
goes as
so
well into
right,
this one, yeah.
and, the other director as well, yeah, was from both, right, that was,
Yeah.
Tyler Gillette, or Gillet, or whatever the hell it's pronounced. Um, she's not gonna be in the, any of the other Scream movies though, right? She kinda, like, got
From
unforced
my
out of.
understanding, she got canned from those for particular reasons we won't discuss here.
Yeah, it's not worth going into. It's unfortunate for them because she does a really great job. She's pretty good actress in this. I didn't get tired of her character at all in this movie, mostly because like it very much, the movie very much just focused on her as like the
Mhm,
central
yeah.
character that I can, as far as I can tell, from the get-go, or pretty much close to it. And yeah, I mean, she's not boring. She's had a lot going on, and so that was pretty cool. I liked the way it ended as well, with I
Like, I
guess
think
it's sort of
that's all you can
hinting.
really say, yeah, like,
They well,
that's all
like,
you can
it's
really
sort of,
say.
they leave it slightly open ended, but not really.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, realistically, depending on how much this movie makes, they'll like, as nature will, Hollywood will find a way to make a sequel out of this movie.
I'd like to see more about like Abigail and her father, obviously, kinds of
Yeah,
stuff,
that,
because
continue that story would be nice to
they
see,
allude to like a lot of stuff that is going on with them, and like I kind
and
of felt like that was like almost like a minor detail, even
and
though
could it be possible that this is, like, I mean, I don't know if this is the case or not, I don't know any, backstory into the production or pre-production, whatever the fuck. But could this leave it open-ended for Abigail and this version of her father to be integrated into like the Universal Monster
that would be
um,
cool.
canon or the new
Right?
canon
Yeah. The dark
universe?
Universal Studios Dark Universe, or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
they're calling that shit that they've been trying to do forever.
Well, I mean, like even with the new Dracula, like with Nicolas Cage, I would love to see him come back and do something. That'd be great.
Did you ever see the
Um,
last the last Mummy movie with Tom Cruise?
I did. I went to the theater to watch that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't seen it, but I know that's probably not.
It's okay. I mean, it was basically, to me, it seemed like Mission Impossible meets fucking The Mummy. Tom Cruise didn't fit that particular movie. But I mean, we could talk about that some other time if you're forced to watch it, and we can talk about it. But um,
Sure. I've
just to get
actually
back to
love
just to get
to.
back to Abigail, again,
Yeah.
overall, fun movie.
Yeah.
Overall,
Pretty cool.
had a good time watching this. Not many
Absolutely.
nitpicks, and going into it, knowing that you're just gonna get this very basic storyline and just have fun with it. Again, if you're not into that, that's totally fine.
Right.
But I enjoyed it. I will say I personally give it out of 5, just a solid 4 out of 5, like a real hard solid 4 out of 5. It seems like
Hmm.
something I would watch again, kind of in like a background type of movie and stuff like
Hmm.
that. It seems fun to me.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Um, so would you check it out in theaters or recommend it to be seen that? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's a
Yeah.
fun movie. I would say people should go watch this in theaters.
It's a pretty good experience. I'd agree. To check out in theaters. The gore, the sets, the
If
you
I
know
was a kid,
the
if I was a kid, a kid of 13 years old, uh, I would love for my parents, my cool parents, to take me to go watch this movie. You know?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's what is
If you're into
yeah.
ballet and you're into horror and Halloween and like
Well, I'm not into ballet, but I enjoyed that aspect of it.
I was
You know?
that's fine. But like I was just
You
gonna
know what
say
we
like
needed, Roland. You know what we needed. I needed personally. Let's scrap the whole ballet aspect of this. We need to
okay.
bring in breakdancing, alright? We need to have a breakdancing vampire come the fuck in and really break dance on people's fucking necks.
Uh
You know, imagine the deaths they could have on scene, on the screen, on the big screen, like doing the windmill, doing like the fucking moonwalk and shit. Like this could be a whole thing.
Bram Stoker's Breakin' 2.
Breaking 3, like, you know, something like that.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be a remake, so I guess
And
that would be
imagine the
like
soundtrack, for God's sakes. Imagine the
Bram Stoker's
soundtrack.
Breaking Daughter. Yeah, the soundtrack would be fucking awesome. Shit.
What about you? What about a rating for yourself?
Um, Again, my only problems with this was just it going in like pretty much everything we talked about. It going into the characters a little unnecessarily,
Mhm.
because again, this is a it's a very straightforward horror comedy, very dark horror comedy, which I really enjoyed. Um, that you see all of the story in the trailer necessarily, and like I the way it talked about um because of the way it goes into like the backstory, it sort of starts to give you like a thriller kind of sense or a suspense movie, which it's not. It's just shock horror with some really awesome production values, really cool sets, really pretty actually awesome actors that had more lines than they needed, which that sort of took away from it a little. um Great practical effects, lots of gore, and just some
A lot
pretty.
of, I would say just a little bit more of an unnecessary exposition
Yes.
when that gets kind of, retold to us by
Yeah.
the villain in a
Hmm.
very quick and swift way, you
And
know,
a
like
very like succinct way.
yeah,
She does a good job of just like it was a very cool moment again where she does that, because like everybody's focused on her, and like they're completely taken aback by it, and she's
right.
just there like, "Yep, I got your number, bitches." And but like I aside from that, like I thought this movie was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed checking it out in the theaters. I would recommend anybody to see it in theaters if they can, or anywhere with like a good like a big ass screen and a great sound system, because it is very atmospheric in that mansion. So it's like, oh, this is cool. Like you get that really not necessarily, well, it's like you get that mix of like being trapped, from like trapped in like a claustrophobic space, but at the same time it's like it's got a 50-foot tall ceiling where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's imposing, and just like it opens up the room, I guess, from that moment, but at the same time they still feel very much like they're stuck in a
Yeah,
box.
just to reiterate the scene, the set design or like the set itself as a house. There's a lot of narrow hallways and corridors and stuff like that. So like whenever they're running away from Abigail and
Hmm.
they're kind of you're following them, like you don't necessarily know how fast anyone's running because like I said, she's just toying with them. So I felt like
This running from
kind
this
of like
little
the
girl,
I
like
felt
it's
the
so funny.
anxiety. Yeah,
It's
and it's
so
a little
funny.
girl and she but the thing is like she looks menacing. Like they made
Yes,
her
yes,
look like
she
scary as
does. That
fuck.
was very cool.
And the thing is, like, you know, and she's just doing these fucking shits like
Yeah,
this, and you're
running
just
at him
like,
in a tutu.
yeah, you're just like, I don't know how to feel about this, you know. But
I
yeah,
was
I just wanted
laughing
to say
so
that.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it was just like funny, just like
yeah,
because they're freaked the fuck out, and she's just there, "Rah!" And they're like, "What?"
yeah,
One, oh shit!
yeah.
uh,
I mean, as a vampire, it has like almost superhuman strength too. So There
Mhm.
you go.
I mean, they talk about that in the movie too, like as a slight backstory to the character, and I guess they sort of forget about it at one point, which I always thought was funny because it just goes to show that like her appearance is very deceiving,
Mhm.
and that, and so like she very much uses that to her advantage and makes them forget so quickly that it's just like, oh, she's a supernatural goddamn like monster. Of course, she's going to be super goddamn powerful with like the particular histories and kind of uh moments that you're exposed to in that movie are shown, um
Right.
that are not even with her in it necessarily. Like when they start figuring shit out and seeing like, okay, there's something wrong with this. It's like, okay, yeah, what makes you think a little girl could do that? Or so I would probably give this like a. I mean, forgetting those moments I didn't like, I'd probably give this like a 4.2. I had a lot of fun with this movie, and I was pretty well impressed with it,
Yeah.
considering that it's not a huge cast. They literally are in one fucking area in the whole movie. It's just in this house, and like it's very light on plot. This is
Mhm.
like a all right, survive the night. What happens? Kind of thing.
Right. Mhm.
Which leaves a lot of the focus on the characters specifically, their reactions, and
And
how they
good on
interact.
them for creating a a villain who is also menacing, but yet can seem, again, somewhat deceivingly harmless.
Right. It's the same
Um,
with the daughter. The same with the
yeah.
daughter. Like, or sorry,
I am referring to Abigail,
you're
yes.
referring to the daughter. I'm an
Yeah,
idiot.
I am referring to the
I
daughter.
keep thinking of Dracula when I say this stuff, which
Well,
he's
I wanted to just bring up a point because a couple of months ago we did watch um Heretic movie. Exorcist, Heretic Part 2. Exodus 2, The Heretic. There's a moment in that movie where they have Reagan doing ballet for no apparent reason, and they
uh,
don't ever bring that up. But I'm glad they integrated this. While it's not necessary for her to, ballet doesn't really play a part, but it's
no.
just for her to kind of be extravagant while she's
Yeah.
killing people, you know?
Yeah, it's like a funny quirk, the ballerina murder
It would have been
vampire.
funny if like Reagan in Exorcist 2 could have used ballet to deceive the devil or Pazuzu coming back to get her.
Maybe.
Didn't happen, but I'm just glad they worked in ballet for no reason whatsoever,
No, it's
just
and
for the
it's so
fuck of it,
funny.
you know?
Yeah, it is
Yeah, just for
so
the fuck of
fucking
it.
funny. Yeah, I really, really liked that. No, yeah, this is just one you can just sort of sit down and just enjoy. You don't have to think about anything because there's
Yeah,
really not much in way of substance there. But it's good. It's good that way because yeah, like the performances were really cool.
and I would say so far, for 2024, we've been getting some pretty decent movies, personally speaking.
Yeah, man.
Um, I'm pretty happy with so far what's happening because I think last year I was kind of like we had a few here and there, nothing
Yeah.
too great, but right now, like, it's just jam-packed beginning of the year. It's barely gonna be the end of April, and I
Yep.
feel like
Yep.
I've seen, like, enough movies for the for the fucking year, you know?
Yeah, and yet there's still more shit, like a
There's
lot more stuff
more
coming
to
out.
go.
There's
Yeah.
the I'm still looking forward to the second Beetlejuice movie of all fucking things.
Mhm.
Deadpool and Wolverine. I don't know if you checked
Mhm.
out that
I
trailer.
did check
Looks
out the trailer,
cool.
it looks fun.
I might check out Maxine. Who knows? That actually looked
And
kind of
there's
fun.
the Arcadian movie, there's Sting,
Mhm,
there's,
mhm.
um, that other Nicolas Cage movie, that
Uh,
Cuckoo movie,
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sasquatch Sunset that I haven't that came out also that I don't wanna watch.
Yeah, that's true.
I know, it's just too much. It's
There's
just too
so much.
much.
It's
It's
great.
too
Yeah,
much to
I'm
watch,
actually
yeah.
happy. I don't know that I've ever seen this many movies in theater at once before.
Yeah.
Um, so I've been mostly pleasantly surprised and like, happy. Uh, I don't really
Oh,
have. I don't
and
remember any problems. That is.
by the way, Late Night with the Devil is on Shudder Rolling, so if you haven't seen that yet, you can check that out.
Yeah, I need to check that out. I am a pretty big fan of David. I can never say his name right. Dalmastian,
Yes.
one of those.
One of those.
He's I but like I've sort of seen his character off and on since
Mhm.
Batman Returns,
Which
which when
apparently was his first role.
Yeah, yeah, I know, very, very minor, but he's pretty cool in that. And then like he sort of blossomed out later on. I forgot
Yeah, he
which
kinda
one.
just, like, started showing up in random things that I'm watching, like,
Yeah,
I was like,
I
he
really
has he
enjoyed
has he has
him.
such a recognizable face. That's the thing, and, like,
Yeah,
he
I enjoyed him
he
in the
kinda snuck
Suicide
up on
Squad
me,
reboot
yeah.
a lot. That's
Yeah,
why
he
I
kinda
was like,
snuck up on me as a viewer, like, because again, it was kind of, it wasn't in your face like this, his, acting or his character. He's always just there in the background, but always doing
mhm.
really great in whatever he's doing.
So he was in the
So
last voyage of the Demeter.
Was he? I don't remember. That's how
That's what
forgetful that
I'm
movie was for
seeing.
me.
Oh, watch Wojciech is the name of the character.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know. I
I'll
never
just tell you
watched that
this,
one.
Roland, like, overall, Last Voyage of Demeter was just I
Yeah.
forgot it already, like
He was in the second Dune movie. He was in
mhm,
Ant-Man,
yeah.
which I really enjoyed his character in Ant-Man. The one
Which
of the
one?
so he
Which
was the
Ant-Man?
hacker buddy from the heist group. It was him, uh, and I think like two other people.
But
He was the
hold
one that
on,
talked like this. Do you know Baba Yaga? I know Baba Yaga. You be scared. He spoke
but
like.
was but I'm sorry, which Ant-Man was it though?
Oh, he was in all of them. He's in the first, the second,
Oh,
and
see,
I don't know
again
if he was in the third one
but
because I
that's what
haven't
I'm
watched
saying to
it.
go he I've seen, like, at least Ant-Man 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and he's been in there, like, sprinkled in movies, like, it's just not
Mhm.
something
Oh, I
I
see,
feel
I
like it's,
see.
like, in
Yeah,
your face,
yeah.
so I
Uh,
kind of forget he's there,
uh,
but not to say that he doesn't do a good job, it's just that he's always, like, a side character,
he
and
was in
at this point
Oppenheimer as well, which is
yeah,
cool.
he was, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
In the past, like, 3
I
or
think
so years, he's really started to hit his,
right, but that's why
you
I'm
know,
saying, like,
hit his stride.
this time with Late Night with the Devil, like, he's front and center, so I think he did a great job, and he should have
Yeah.
more, like, starring roles,
I'm looking forward to checking it out. Maybe I'll check it out when go down to visit. We'll see.
Yeah.
That'd probably be
Alright.
a good six pack.
If you like this video, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. You can check us out on any of the socials. There's links down below for all that stuff. And you want to support us in any other way, you can subscribe to our streaming service.
Subscribe to Ray's OnlyFans.
We have a Watcher streaming service that you can subscribe to for
Yeah,
$6.99 and
please
for
don't cancel this.
$59.99 for 1 year. It's a price that we
For
decided
1
upon
year,
that
for 1
everyone can
week.
afford. Everyone can
Right.
afford.
Everyone can afford. It's 6.99 rubles. So it's like 5 cents for
It's
everyone.
Roland, it's $5.99, alright? We're not trying to rob our fans,
Oh,
alright?
you're right. Well, you're
But
not.
it's $59.99 for 1 year,
Six packs won't buy
and if
themselves, folks.
but make sure to subscribe to our Patreon where we will not give you a free subscription if you are donating that way. Or we might, I don't know, we might change our minds. Or we might just say all of a sudden we wanna leave our subscriptions up for a month and then we'll put it on YouTube. We don't wanna alienate everybody, but, we haven't decided on that yet. We are persons who really wanna just make TV quality content for our
Yes,
subscribers.
our subscriber. For all of you one guy out there listening, thank you.
But we just joking around. I'm just referring to that Watcher scandal going on YouTube right now, which I
Yeah,
thought was
good
pretty
luck with
funny,
that. It
and I've been
was.
kind of like following it for a while, for the past like weekend.
Mhm. Yeah, you were
But
sending me
yeah,
those videos, and I was like, "Yep,
yeah,
there it is."
yeah. There's the update. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Fresh Monday morning update and an apology from the guys from Watcher. I saw it coming. They, I wonder how aggressively they were writing that script for an apology. Like,
All I
you
know in
see all
that
these
video,
you see all these goddamn
they
comments?
looked like they hadn't been sleeping well, and I was
Oh,
like, "Yeah, I probably
yeah.
wouldn't either if I did something like that and got
Yeah,
absolutely
and
shit
I'll
on."
say this though, like, people, like, the minute that video came out, the first one on Friday, they came out fucking swinging, like, people were
Yeah.
commenting and, like, talking shit and, like, saying, "That's
Yep.
it. They ruined their careers. It's over.
A
It's
lot of
over." It's all over
content,
YouTube,
a lot of
yeah.
content, yeah, creators made lots of money that day reacting and shitting
And
on
they
her.
made money Monday when they updated that fucking that
Yeah,
apology too.
yeah, that's true.
If anyone out there is you don't know what I'm talking about, then don't worry about it. But,
Don't
like,
worry
it's a
about it.
YouTube scandal for people that former BuzzFeed people who created their own, channel on YouTube and wanna
Yep.
do something on their streaming service. But whatever.
Mhm.
We'll see you next time, and we'll see you on the next review. That's it.
See ya.